Hey guys, I'm Mark the Geek. In this video, I want to share with you guys my review of the Nintendo Switch hardware after 3 weeks of usage. Yes, that's how much I've been using this device, almost non-stop. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first of all, let's go ahead and start talking about the things that I really love about the Nintendo Switch, and I have to start with the hybrid console idea that Nintendo just brought to us. The fact that you can play this device on the go as a portable device, you could use it as a console, or you could play in desktop mode. I think that is an amazing, crazy, awesome idea. Mainly, I've been using this device as a portable device because I like to play on the go and I like playing console games on the go. And this gives me that. This gives me the satisfaction that I'm playing a console game on the go like Zelda or Fast RMX or any other future AAA games. Yes, you could put it on the TV as a console mode and it switches really fast. That's what I really like about this device, that all you gotta do is just put it on the dock and it switches to the TV very fast. And same thing goes the other way around. You unplug it from the dock and it switches right away to the tablet or to the portable mode, and that for me is really great accomplishment. I also really like the screen. The screen is a 6.2 inch screen, 720p, and I gotta say, games on this device as a portable device looks just freaking awesome. They look really good, especially when you're playing a game like Fast RMX or Zelda that has like weather effects and all that. It really looks beautiful on this screen. Of course, when you hook it up to a TV, it goes all the way up to 900p or 1080p depending on the game that you're playing. But the screen itself, because like I said, I'm using it as a portable device mostly, I'm really satisfied with how awesome and how great the games look on the screen. Now, one of the features that I thought I was going to complain about the Nintendo Switch was the buttons on the Joy-Cons. But I gotta say, it doesn't take too long to get used to the fact that you're going to have a device that doesn't have a D-pad. For D-pad, what it has is 4 buttons. But at first it feels a little bit weird, especially depending on the game that you're playing, but it doesn't take too long to get used to them. Also, since I've been using this as a portable device, I haven't had no problem whatsoever, no complaints whatsoever. And I like the fact that it feels really good when you're using the grip when you also connect it to the TV and use it as console mode. I really like the way it feels. You know, I honestly recommend people to try it out first. Try the grip with the Joy-Cons on before investing money on the Nintendo Pro controller, because you might be surprised how good it actually feels. Like, for example, myself, I will never ever spend $80 for the Pro controller because I actually like the way the Joy-Cons feel when they're connected with the grip. There's no problem for me, and since I'm playing it, like I said, in portable mode most of the times, so for me it's no issue whatsoever. Of course, I love the fact that the Nintendo Switch actually comes with 32 gigabytes of internal storage, and it also has a card slot where you could put a micro SD card up to 2 terabytes, I think it is. And it's been awesome because, you know, micro SD cards are really cheap. And of course, if you start a game with the SD card already hooked up to the Nintendo Switch, all the games will automatically install to your micro SD card. Like, for example, right now I already downloaded games like Fast RMX, the demo for Snippet Clips, the demo for Splatoons 2, and all those games are being installed on my micro SD card. So right now, as of this moment, after 3 weeks, my internal storage still is empty. I still have available, I think, the 28 gigabytes that you get out of the box. Yeah, that is pretty damn awesome that you can actually have that, because micro SD cards are really cheap. You could get easily at 64 gigabytes for less than $25, and so on. So yes, the fact that it has micro SD cards compatibility is awesome. And of course, I like the fact that Nintendo actually chose to use USB Type-C port to charge the device, especially because everybody is adopting to those USB Type-C, like smartphones and tablets, even laptops are also being charged with USB Type-C. And that's great because now you have more options to charge your device when you're on the go, and you have less cables to carry around as well. Now, another great feature that I really like about this device, because it's a hybrid console, is the fact that out of the box, you can actually start a two-player game without having to buy an extra controller like you would have to do with an Xbox or a PlayStation 4. Because since it has the left and the right Joy-Con, you can actually play a game which has split screen, or a game like Snipper Clips. You can actually give one Joy-Con to one person, and another person takes the other Joy-Con, and you can actually play a game with two players right out of the box, and that is pretty damn awesome. That's like having a console with two controllers included, something that you cannot say about other consoles. And that's because, especially because Nintendo chose this hybrid console idea, and that's a flexibility that now we have. When you put the device in desktop mode, you can actually play two players on the go out of the box, and that is really awesome because there's no extra cost for that. Now, of course, it's pretty cool that Nintendo actually brought the Amiibos feature to the Nintendo Switch, which is actually on the right Joy-Con, right in the thumbstick, because Nintendo put the NFC chip in the thumbstick. So to use an Amiibo, you actually put the Amiibo on the thumbstick, and it's gonna interact with the game, and that's pretty cool. With games in the future coming out like Mario Kart, Splatoon, the new Mario game later on in the future, it's all gonna be compatible with those games. But lately I've been using it mostly on the Zelda game. Of course, on the left Joy-Con, you can actually take screenshots of games. If I'm not mistaken, later on in the future is actually going to be updated so it can actually take video clips as well. Now, don't take my word for it, but I think that's what I heard, that later on in the future, that same button is actually being used, gonna be used to take video clips. But right now, we can only use it to take screenshots. Now let's talk about the things that I don't like about the Nintendo Switch. Like, for example, starting with the kickstand, because it feels really cheap. Yes, I like the fact that it has a kickstand, because that way we could play in desktop mode, and later on in the future we might be able to watch some videos using media apps. But right now it feels really cheap, because when you open it up and you're trying to lock it in position so it can stay open, on me, it just snaps off. And when it snaps off, it actually feels like you actually broke the device, like you actually broke the kickstand from the Nintendo Switch. But luckily, it actually snaps right in, which is a big relief. But it actually feels scary when it just pops off. It just feels really, really cheap. And of course, the position of the kickstand for me should have been in the middle, because a lot of times, depending on the surface where you're playing this device on, it can actually tip over really easily, especially if you have it in desktop mode and you try to attach or detach the Joy-Cons from the device. If you're using the kickstand, it's just gonna fall off, and that's the thing of it. But other than that, it's great that it has a kickstand. Now, another thing that might be an issue for a lot of people out there, especially if you travel a lot, is the battery life. Because I've been getting around 2 hours and a half of battery life playing Zelda and games like Fast RMX, because those are two games that are powered graphic demanding. Now, if you're playing games that are less demanding, for example, indie games, yes, Nintendo claims that you might be getting 5 to 6 hours of battery life, but those are games that are way less power demanding. So games like Skyrim or NBA 2K18, if it comes out, games like that are actually going to give you a lot less than 3 hours of battery life. So of course, if you're going to be traveling, you're going to have to carry around your charging cable or a battery power pack. That way you can have juice on the go. Another thing that I don't like about the Switch, that's more Nintendo's problem, is the fact that in 2017 we're still using friend codes. Those long ass numbers to send friend requests to a friend. That is dumb in 2017 that we're still using that system. I can't believe that's still happening. Why can't we use our user ID? I'd rather use my freaking email to send friend requests than the stupid ass long friend codes. I don't get it why we're doing that. That's kind of dumb. And the fact that you have a lot of friends like myself right now, I've been adding a lot of people, and if I want to send a message to a specific person or create a group so we can start texting and talking to each other, we cannot do that either. So what's the point of having a list of friends if you can't communicate with them? You can do it on the Xbox One, on the PlayStation 4, even on the PlayStation Vita. I can have conversation with people. Why can't we do it on the Switch? That is crazy, 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 crazy that Nintendo still 2017 doesn't allow that. Now, and that's it with all the things that I like and don't like about the Nintendo Switch hardware. And yes, you might be asking, Mark, what's up with why didn't you say anything about the left Joy-Con, the Wi-Fi strength, the screen problems? Guess what? I am having no problems whatsoever with the left Joy-Con, with the Wi-Fi strength, with the screen at all. My device quality has been super, super A. No problems whatsoever with my device. Besides the kickstand, which feels cheap, other than that, my device feels solid as hell. And I really, really like it. So, of course, one of the major problems is that it doesn't have so many games out there in the market. This device has been for me my Zelda device, and I'm really happy for it because I get to play Zelda as much as I can. It's a huge game and I really, really love it. Of course, I hope that later on in the future we get more AAA games, which sadly, based on the specs that has been revealed because of the Tegra X1 chip, which is basically very, very similar, or if not the same as the Android Shield device that connects to the TV. Sadly, because of that chip, I'm pretty sure we're not going to get huge games like Mass Effect Andromeda, Injustice 2, Battlefront, the new Battlefront that comes out, the new Call of Duty that comes out, new games like that, like Red Dead Redemption, and what's up with Madden? Why haven't we heard anything about a Madden game coming to the Switch? What about a WWE game coming out for the Switch? That would be freaking awesome, but we haven't heard anything about those type of game coming here. So that it's sadly the reality of Nintendo devices, and that's why in a way I say I'm happy that Nintendo released this device because it lets me play the Nintendo console games on the go, and a lot of some AAA games on the go, and a lot of great indie games on the go. But the problem is that if you're asking me, Mark, should I buy a PlayStation 4 or a Switch? I'm going to tell you PlayStation 4. Because with the PlayStation 4, if you want to play those awesome games that you see on TV, like Mass Effect, like Watch Dogs 2, like Injustice 2, all the games, big games that people are talking about, guess what? I can't recommend the Nintendo device. The Nintendo device will actually have to be your second device. It cannot be your first and only device. That's the problem with Nintendo, not the Switch. I do love the Switch, and if you ask me, hey Mark, should I buy the Nintendo Switch? Honestly, I have to say yes. I would definitely recommend buying the Nintendo Switch, especially if you like playing console games on the go, especially if you like Nintendo games and you want to play those Nintendo games on the go. Hell yes, you must buy a Nintendo Switch. But other than that, guys, this is my opinion about the hardware. Honestly, I would have to come back again a year from now after the library gets a little bit bigger, and after a year from now we can actually talk a little bit better on how good does the battery life maintain and how good does the connection between the Joy-Cons and the device actually maintains itself after a year of usage. I would actually have to come back a year from now and do another review for this device because, there's still a lot of questions to be answered that is going to take time for them to be answered. So guys, thanks for watching my video. Let me know what you guys think about my review of the hardware of the Nintendo Switch. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time.